welcome to OneMore. I'm your host, Brian Erickson. Each week, we bring in two guests, sit them down on Hendo's couch, and ask them why they do what they do. This week, we've got a couple good ones. Singer-songwriter Lance Greene will be joining us, as well as the frontwoman of the fantastic local band Centennials and newly minted solo act, Rhonette Smith. But before we get to them, Mr. Chris Dubrow, everybody.
Mr. Brian Erickson. How you doing, sir?
Very well, very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm laid back today.
Yeah, a lot less.
Yeah, a lot less
going on. I mean, not equally as much going on.
Yeah, but we are a lot
here,
calmer.
But I think a lot less going on up here.
Yeah, no, the panic is behind the eyes this time instead of just on the face. I spent all weekend playing with my band.
The Burns.
The Burns, yes, of course. We did two really long cover sets at bars, and then we did a music video.
A music video.
Yeah, we shot a music video yesterday.
How'd that go?
It went really well. It's great. I worked with this director that I've worked with before, a friend of mine named Kevin Carlin, and every time I bring him a music video, I want it to be one take, and he's like, yeah, sure. So he films it as a one take. And then I get a text message from him at the end. It's like, I'm happy with this, but I hate doing one takes, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. But we'll see what happens. I think it came out pretty good.
I understand there was a pretty intense game of chess.
Yes. So we had this idea that we wanted to be we had Joey Henderson, my lead singer, works out of this mansion, this place called Oasis.
Also, Joey Henderson, donator of
Hendo's couch, of course. Spent many an hour on this couch. He works out of this big, beautiful, 17th century mansion. So we were shooting in this.
Is it like a Vanderbilt?
No, he's literally it's like a farm. It's hard to explain. It's like a farm for helping special needs young adults.
Oh, okay.
Whole big thing. But we were filming in this giant great room, and we were like, why don't we just bring a couple friends along and just have them be really bored while we play live? So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we had my wonderful girlfriend Ava and Brittany Dixon of Brittany on Fire. Hey, Britt. They were playing chess in one corner. We had Madison, who's our graphic designer, playing Uno with one of her friends in another corner. Dwayne Oken of Levy and the Oaks.
Levy and the Oaks. They're going to be guests in a couple
next
weeks.
Next week.
Yeah.
He was.
Next week.
Is it next week or is it?
I have to check the schedule. I think it might be
he's going to be here sometime.
Yeah, soon. They're going to be here soon.
They're coming in a few hours.
If at least a week, at most a few weeks.
And anyway, so we had him there, and I thought it'd be really funny if he was in a corner playing piano, faking it, because we were recording live too. And he came up to me after the first take, and he's like, I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to be in the band. Can I not play piano? I'm like, yeah, I guess. And he found a book, and he was reading that, but he was so genuinely afraid of that, and it warmed my little heart.
That he didn't want to seem like he was trying to take over it all.
I just had this wonderful image of someone's watching this video. It's it's really cool, but who's that guy in the background on piano? Is he trying to be in the band? Getting upset at him. I don't know. Didn't happen in any case. So yeah, I had a busy weekend. You can hear my voice is utterly fried, so it's more nasally than usual.
No, well, I would contest that. I'd say it's just about as nasal as it usually is.
Thank you. We will agree to disagree. We'll let the viewers decide. You can vote here or here. I don't know.
That's insert graphic, right? So I understand you said you did some cover gigs, right?
Yes.
And there's a Bob Seger story, right?
Oh,
you guys.
Yeah, we played Night Moves, which is the first time I've heard Night Moves in about 3 years, and also the first time I've ever played it. And I got to say, that song kicks ass.
Oh yeah, no, Bob Seger is one of my favorites. Bob Seger was my first concert I went to. I went with my dad, on the Fire Inside tour. Sometime mid 90s, early 90s, something like that. My dad took me. We won tickets from a radio station.
Exciting. Was he still working on his Night Moves when you saw him?
Oh no, he had him down.
Oh, he had him down. Good. Finally got him.
Bob Seger's been making records since 1960, whatever. By 1990, 3, 4, whatever.
He was.
If you're doing night moves for 30 odd years, you probably want to make sure you have them down.
Yeah.
If you're still trying to get them down 30 years later, I feel like you got some issues.
What's the likelihood of him writing a follow-up song and calling it done on the Night Moves? I don't know.
I was thinking Always Sunny, Day Moves.
Day Moves, ridiculous.
Fighter of the Night Moves.
Of course.
There we go.
Yeah,
off camera.
Fantastic.
We get a little falsetto. So I think it's about time to bring on our first guest. Let's bring him out. Lance Greene.
Let's go.
Thank you. I didn't trip over anything.
Not yet, at least. You didn't trip over anything yet. So welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Good.
Yeah?
Great. Good to be here.
Oh, we're so excited. Because I first saw you like 2 years ago at the Court Tavern. I think we played together. And I knew most of everyone else who was playing. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I think like our friend Renee was playing too. And I think, like a bunch of people. And I'm like, oh, who's this? I think like maybe Ed from Jersey Drive played too. And I'm like, who's this Lance Greene? Like, who's this guy? And then you went up, you played, and I was just blown away. I'm like,
that's nice.
Dude's got pipes, man. You really have. It was like so. Yeah, that was my first impression.
I think there is a picture of us with you, me, and Renee from one of those nights. Not that first night, obviously, because we're chummy in this picture, and I've got my eyes closed and.
Oh yeah, are you one of those that like? Can you when you take a picture, do you have like the
I'm not
the
a good
big
picture
smile
taker.
and the
I'm
eyes
not,
closed?
When I was a kid, I never used to like to have my picture taken, and that's just now that I'm an adult and I realize that pictures are somewhat valuable to have,
Especially
of
from like back when you were a kid,
Yeah.
because now, dude, everybody's taking pictures now. But back then,
so I'm working on it.
10, 15, whatever years ago, people didn't take pictures with the prolificacy at which they take them now.
Yeah.
So like we can take one of you.
We're
We're not going to do that.
I mean, you're already on camera.
Yeah, there's
so might as well
several.
Let's just add another camera.
Yeah,
to
we
it.
can. Well, we can cut a still
Yeah,
from
I'm
the
feeling
reel
pretty
if we really
And
want.
guaranteed your eyes will be closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I used to do that too. My parents used to they used to find the spot where the sun was shining the brightest, and they'd be like, "Brian, stand right there and don't you close your eyes." And so yeah, same. Every picture, I'd be like, "Can I wear sunglasses?" Then nope. Like it's our Easter pictures.
Yeah.
Like no dice, man. Always kept my eyes.
Would you
closed.
be like demon child? Do you have like the red eyes?
No. Well, that's usually like a function of indoor. This was outdoor, but I felt like a demon child trying to keep my eyes open. Like
Yeah, gotcha.
it just didn't work. So let's talk about your music. How long you been at this?
Long enough. Yeah, like
You have like a time, like years.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I started playing guitar when I was 14ish, and then started writing songs pretty soon after that.
What got you into writing songs?
I don't know. I mean, I just I liked music. I was into early on. I was into Boys to Men and singing that, and
Really?
I think that's where the pipes come from.
Can I tell you something? One of the first CDs I ever owned, my uncle, who is just a dynamite bassist, got me a copy of Boys to Men 2 for Christmas.
Boys to Men.
Boys to Men.
Yeah.
With the Roman numeral.
Two,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
that's-
you know the
I had that
song
on
Thank
cassette.
You, right? The first song? That song's a banger. I love that album. I still have that album too.
We weren't even planning on talking about this.
Some of the best ballads of the 90s on that whole album. Like some really great songwriting. And now they're down to 3 guys. Did I just blow your mind?
No, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, they're a trio now. They got rid of the one, I think it was the guy who did the talking. Like during, the kind of instrumental like interlude, the guy who would talk in like the deep rich baritone. I think that's the one they got rid of.
Darn.
But so
they were
Boys,
just in a commercial though.
yeah, the Geico commercial.
Yeah.
It was just the 3 of them. But so you got
That's
into
the thing is, yeah.
you got into songwriting from Boys to Men.
Well,
like that's
I got
great.
into music.
Oh, okay.
That was like my intro to music.
So what got you? What were you listening to when you kind of said, "Oh,
Songwriting.
I'm really into this. I think I can do this."
Yeah. I don't know. I never said I think I can do this. I just started. Like I had friends who played music, and so I don't know. I guess I just started. It was sort of like a natural progression. There was a guitar in my house. My dad had a guitar. My mom had a guitar, and I just started stealing it and playing it.
Ah, that's good. Well, that's good because stealing is a really good way to get into things, I think. Yeah. And But I guess, having a musical family, having instruments in the house, because that's pretty crazy that you say, so you weren't listening to anything specific that made you want to write songs. Because I think about, you got a song called Seamless on your EP for Lost Souls that came out 2 years ago. And that, it's probably my favorite song of yours, although I'm sure like your new stuff is going to just blow that away. But like, it starts out kind of with this sort of like country shuffle and this barrel house piano, and then in the middle this complete like key change, this kind of jazz melody, and then it goes back, and I'm like, man, where does someone's brain have to go to link these two sort of disparate like parts of songwriting? I was pretty impressed by that.
I think it comes from not knowing what you're doing.
Isn't that the way?
I took a couple of lessons, like literally I think 2, and then I decided it was just too slow. Or I was bored. I don't know. I may or may not have ADD. I don't know.
You may or may not.
But yeah, I wanted to just like, I learned tabs and learn some chords from that, and that's how I started. Like, I can use this chord, and I learned a John Mayer song and like learned like some real wacky chords, and realized that I could just sort of make up chords from notes that I want up and down the guitar. And then that kind of led to just experimentation and not really knowing what I'm doing. So I think that has something, because that's an old song.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, that, I mean, thinking about that too, that especially that first John Mayer record is all like jazz chords and acoustic guitar and stuff like that. He didn't become that,
I think it was Why Georgia.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a tough one.
I think. Could be wrong about that.
That's funny. Yeah, I had that album. I still have it. I shouldn't say I had it. I have that record. That album came out when I was in college, and I remember like similarly picking a guitar up at some point and being like, I can do this, and then being like, I can't do this.
Yeah,
I can't. So the world now knows you. You've got this EP. It's about 1.5 2 years old. You've been writing songs, you've been playing guitar since you were 14. What led you to make the record? What kind of went off in your mind that was like, oh, it's time to make a record. It's time to kind of put something formal down.
Yeah. Just it had been, it was about time. Like I hadn't done anything that I would say up to that point that I would say like, yes, listen to this. Here you go. This is good. And I had an idea of what I wanted to do. Now I have a better idea of what I want to do, so I'm gonna do something else soon.
Okay. So, do you have like a timetable for any of this?
Hopefully, get it done in a year, maybe less.
Okay. Has it started yet, or is that too much? Are we revealing too much?
I've been to the place where it's all gonna go down. And I've talked to
like actually or like mental, like you've like I have been to the
physical location. In your head,
like I have
the depths
been
of your
to
mind.
the place, and I know
that was somehow very ominous.
But I like it, right? I like it.
Yeah, I went on a vision quest. I got some peyote and
that's
I've seen the place. I just have to find it.
You and Jim Morrison and the Spirit Guide just went out to the desert.
No, I'm
the deserts of New Jersey, of course.
I'm sort of slated to record with this dude who's it's actually out of my hometown, Monroe, New Jersey. And this guy is just like, I remember in high school, he's 3 years ahead of me. Hearing about him, how awesome he was, and at guitar, and he's a singer-songwriter now, and so he's like a super talented singer-songwriter, and he'll hopefully produce my upcoming release.
Okay, so you're not working with Arlen on this?
No, not on this one.
And that was Arlen Files?
Arlen Files. I say it Philus. I believe it's Philus.
Okay, Philus.
Yeah.
So you're kind of switching producers, I guess you could say.
Yeah, just branching out. Seeing what that EP was a sound. There was like a sound that had, and for this next thing, I sort of want to do somewhat of a different sound and just explore working with other people. And I really like the idea of recording out of my hometown. This is like 2 streets over from like my best friend's house growing up, and like so I just sort of nostalgic about the idea of it.
Do you still live in your hometown, or
no?
Okay, like, do you have family there? Like, you can.
No, we actually sold the childhood house. It was last year, so.
So I was gonna say, like, I imagine recording in one's home. Like, if I went back to my hometown, I would definitely make sure like I was home for dinner and stuff like that. Like, have my mom like cook me some, like, a nice home cooked meal. As a benefit. But I guess, the nostalgia factor is a big one also. Is there anything in particular, like, well known or even just locally, what's inspiring you these days? What's what are you paying attention to that might be informing, your this latest batch of material, or just your process this time around?
Well, I've been listening to a lot of music. Really into a few bands that are like contemporary. Like, we were listening to Deer Tick on the way here. I like them.
Yes.
I just got the Big Thief, their first record. Starts with a P. That I'm really enjoying.
And that's quite a bit different from going back to like John Mayer. That's that's a pretty nice, like a pretty interesting like switch.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Off the top of my head, can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. I've just been listening to a lot of different stuff. I don't know. I like Courtney Barnett.
Love Courtney Barnett. She's a lefty like me too.
Yeah.
Is any of this like informing? So your last EP was it's like very tight sounding. It's very taut, I would say. Like the song, I mean, they kind of get in, they say what they need to, and they get out. And say like a Courtney Barnett has this she fits like an old shoe. Like, it's not going to come off, but it's kind of, a little loose sort of. And it's is there going to be is that going to kind of sink into some of this some of these recordings where maybe it's a little more, maybe the songs kind of move around a little more inside of the structure?
Yeah, I like that idea. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. A bit of an unraveling. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that I find is kind of exciting when you listen to a new record and it has that feel, and there's an excitement to being like, is this gonna just fall off the table, or are they gonna find a way to kind of keep it together?
Yeah.
And I think something like that, when they find a way to keep it together, it's really it's almost like triumphant sounding in a way.
Yeah, we'll see. I want to work with other people on it. I want, there to be as many other musicians that I can get really, on it. But we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. Still very up in the air. So. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you see that we've just gone public with that. Lance wants to work with a number of different people, and we're going to see him perform acoustically shortly. But before we do that, we're going to bring in our second guest, Rhonette Smith.
No. Before we do that...
we're going to...
One day, Brian is going to get the steps right. We're brought to you today by Mr. Pizza Slice in Red Bank. Mr. Pizza Slice, a Red Bank institution with a new vibe. We don't have any slices this week because someone, not naming names, Matt, forgot to order it. For over 45 years, Steve operated Mr. Pizza Slice on Mum Street in Red Bank. The new owners have 100% kept the original pizza, called Steve's Original Pie, as well as the signature Italian hot dog, my nickname for Brian, and French fries, Brian's nickname for me. New additions include pizza with various toppings that can be ordered by the slice, hot and cold sandwiches, and smaller appetizer dishes, my nickname for Lance. We have kept a lot of Steve's feeling here in the classic video game machines and added delivery services, longer hours, and Sunday hours. Mr. Pizza Slice. It's pizza by the slice. That's not their catchphrase. Brian?
Okay, now we would like to bring on our second guest, Rhonette Smith.
Are they going to be open when we are wrapped up? We can all go to Mr. Pizza Slice?
I believe Well, I think, yeah, right? What does the ad say? They're going to be open, right? They extended their hours.
Longer hours.
Yeah, then
right?
I think that means we have to go.
Come on, Pizza Slice, put your money where your mouth is.
Do they still do like the French fry discs? Like the little...
Well, we're going to find out. But Rhonette, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So we've known each other kind of off and on for about the last 4 years, and I remember seeing the first time I saw you. You were playing with your band Centennials at the Rail House in Rahway around the big old fire pit.
Yeah, that was a really fun summer, I will say.
Yeah, that was 2014.
Yep.
Those are good times.
Yeah, really good times.
Do you miss that at all?
Are you kidding me? Of course. That was so just like fun. There was so much camaraderie and meeting like new people every time I was there. It was so much fun, and it was kind of nice to find a new group of people to kind of, I guess, infiltrate. And it's now these people are some of my closest friends, which is so amazing, you know.
Yeah, and that's, I had never seen anything like that before. So I mean, the Rail House, when I went there, it was like, it was like stepping out of the lunar module into just this vast place. I'm like, wow, like people show up to see everybody and they leave after everybody's done. Like you don't just, when am I playing?
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm gonna get here 5 minutes before I'm gonna play and then I'm out.
Yeah.
I had never seen that before. Like that completely just changed my whole perception of why people do music in the first place.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And I think it's really important for you to have that sense of community, especially when you're a local musician, because you really depend on the people that you make friends with to, they inspire you creatively. I mean, a lot of my favorite bands are local. Yeah,
and that's a lot of your audience too, is, if you go to a show, it's like, we'll see, you and Lance like in the audience, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's how to do it.
Exactly.
And it's, everybody kind of, move, like helping sort of move things along in service of everybody else.
Yeah, a scene grows when everybody's taking part of it.
Yeah, and now Centennials, perhaps as a result of those early days, you guys released a pair of really good EPs, and kind of joined in with some of those bands and artists you met in the scene to hold like a pair of really, really great release shows.
Well, thanks. I think I'm really proud of everything that I've done with Centennials. It's been a really fun time, and I've gotten to do a lot of cool things, and I've gotten to make music that I'm really proud of, and I'm so just grateful to have been able to have these experiences and hopefully to be able to do so much more.
Oh, well, speaking of so much more, like the reason you're here is because we're here to talk about what you've been up to outside the band. And I understand you're in the beginning stages of recording a solo LP.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah, it feels a little ambitious, but at the same time, I'm like, I can write a bunch of songs. This will be just fine.
Now, why do you say it feels ambitious? Because the reason I ask is because it to me at least it feels like a natural progression. Like you made a couple of EPs, and it's like, now it's time. You've been at it for a few years. Like now it's just time, right?
I suppose if you look at it that way, but it's more of, I guess, this is something that's more just me, and when you have a band, you can kind of hide behind everyone else. I mean, I know I am the lead singer, but I do hide behind my guitar and behind the rest of my band. So when I do this kind of thing, I'm not allowed to do that because it's just me up there, just me by myself. So that means I have to be a lot more vulnerable and a lot more open, because these are things and decisions that I'm going to make by myself, and no one else can really have any input on it. And it's exciting, but it's also pretty intimidating.
Yeah. And now you're not doing this completely alone, right?
No.
Now, the reason we have the both of you here today is I understand Lance is actually helping with this a little bit.
He's going to be one of the guitarists, and I'm super excited to have him on board. He's so perfect for what he's doing, and it's a really good group of people that you probably wouldn't have put together unless you were me. It's from bands that are very different, but they're all of them together are suited to what I'm looking for, and it's really exciting.
How did you guys link up?
Playing the same places, I guess.
Yeah.
Just sort of admire. I mean, I remember when I first heard Rhonette play solo. Like, you played a song that just like it was this off. It was an odd tempo. It was like. And I'm into that. I'm so into like weird.
Oh, was it that song that's in like 7/4 or something? One of those.
Probably.
Most likely, Oh My Molly, because.
Okay, yeah.
I was just, oh man, I was like, and then I kept asking you to play, and you kept saying no, kindly no.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
That's
you were,
me.
Yeah, you were like, it had to be like when you were feeling it. I guess,
which isn't
know.
often.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling it today, right? Like, that would have been terrible. We get a message like, you know what, I can't do it today, Brian.
I mean,
Well.
like, I've gotten to the point where I've had to force myself, because this is something that I want to do so badly. So you kind of got to make yourself do some things that are a little bit terrifying.
Well, maybe it harkens back to what you said before, where it's like forcing yourself to not hide behind anything.
Yeah,
anymore.
and like that's pretty much what I've been doing for my whole music career, because I mean, I've been writing songs since I was pretty young, but I always felt like I needed a band around me in order for me to make something that was worth something. So now I finally gotten to the point where I think I can actually do this on my own.
And doesn't that feel like empowering?
Yeah, it absolutely does, especially because I mean, the whole process of writing this album, I keep being unsure if I'm actually gonna finish writing everything, but then I get another song done, and then I get another song done, and I actually am continuing to like these songs that I'm writing, and it makes me feel so much better when I'm like, okay, maybe I can actually do this.
Yeah, and you know what's great too is if you don't like one, just write another one.
I got a bunch of those.
but it's not like you know there's some finite like it's the first 10 or the first 15 or whatever. It's just, you know what, if one of them stops measuring up against the rest of the material, you just say, you know what, okay, like B-side, or just not even gonna waste my time on
those
this.
songs will never see the light of day.
Wow, that is a lot more fatalistic than what I was thinking. But
Have
sure.
you met me?
Yes, 4 years ago at the Rail House.
I never went to that place.
You never got to the Rail House?
Really?
Oh man, that place was magic.
Yeah, the fire pit.
Yeah, that was really great.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
And I mean, I feel like I kind of got there sort of at the tail end of things too. Like I didn't even get to see like the whole, you know, just all the splendor. But I'm glad I got to be a part of it for a little while at least.
It was really fun.
You know, before things kind of moved elsewhere. But yeah, I don't want to be like, oh, you missed out. But
But
it
you
was,
did.
but you know what though? I think that you know, with those certain groups of artists and bands and stuff, they kind of carry that mentality that was established back then. I think that continues wherever they go and wherever they end up, because you know that's just a place. But the attitude and the aesthetic and the, you know, the sort of modus operandi is, you know, continues in, you know, Centennials, for example, or, you know, any of the, you know, couple dozen people that used to play there alongside you guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like I said before, a scene really only grows when people are being involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just like with any other experiences that you have in your life, you take a lot of those things and you take them with you when you move on to other things. And there were a lot of important things that I think we all learned back there.
Yeah, really, really. I mean, as I said, for me, like transformative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had no idea what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it's, you know, I'm just flailing around, and then coming into this was like, this right here wouldn't exist without that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I met most of you guys either there or through that, or you know, just through that network somehow.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could kind of trace that, you know, those early Railhouse days straight on through, you know, right here, January of 2018. So who else is working with you on this record? Are we allowed to talk about it? Like, we got Lance. Like, we didn't have room on the couch for everybody else, but can we talk about this at all, or is this a secret?
No,
The songs are good. That's what
Yeah,
I'll
they
say.
are.
The song, we
Thanks.
worked on 2 so far.
Yeah,
And
we've
they're good.
only worked on 2 because I said I wanted to start off with the 2 easiest ones.
Okay.
Because I like to think that all my songs are easy. When I write songs, I'm pretty much a
Well,
simple.
they're easy to you.
Oh well, I don't like to do things that are difficult. So why would I make something that's hard? But we have Lance is one of the guitarists, and then we also have Max, who is a guitarist from a metalcore band called Nora Villa.
Okay.
I have Keith from Fun While You Wait. He's going to be on drums.
Oh, yeah.
And then on bass, we have Dennis, my lovely bassist from Centennials.
Ah, yes, Dennis Reitmar.
Yep.
Yes, the lovely, the one and
Yes.
only.
Yes, of course.
Well, that's kind of good, though. I like that you have, even though this is something that is separate from Centennials, it's kind of cool that you have, that you've found that sort of link back to, you know, what I would say, if I could say, probably the project that you're most known for at this point. So that's kind of nice that he came in, and that's going to be the sort of bridge from one to the other.
And it actually makes a lot of sense because everyone that's involved has very different backgrounds, especially if you look at, you know, the groups that they're in right now and the music that they play right now. But when I put them together onto the songs that I have, it makes so much sense. And it's really incredible to finally be able to hear that as a group instead of what's just going on inside my head.
That's excellent. And this isn't your debut either. You kind of slipped one under the radar over the summer.
And I guess technically that really wasn't my debut either, but
Oh wow. Okay. Then you really. Oh man. Then I missed one.
I went under a different moniker for a little while because I was trying to start up a band, and it was called The Best Mistakes. Please don't look for that. Now everyone's gonna look for that.
.bandcamp.com.
What a mistake. I did that for a bit because I wanted to start a band, but I just wanted to play music. So I actually played my first solo show in 2012.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I've been playing music for a long time.
How long have you been at this?
I started writing songs when I was 12, and I started playing instruments when I was about 9.
Wow.
She's
got you beat, Lance, like by a lot of years.
Sorry.
No,
I've been
that's...
I don't know. I've been
No.
playing for a really long time, and I got the great opportunity in high school to actually be part of this class called Recording Entertainment and Production Workshop, where we basically built a mock record company, and we recorded and promoted an album of songs from the students. And I was on both of the albums. Well, I was on 3 albums while I was there. So I did 3 solo songs while I was in high school on an album.
Oh wow. Like, my high school didn't have a record label. Like, dude, my high school barely even had like a bus.
It was something that my choir teacher,
wow.
he had been trying to do for so long, and it just so happened that when I was coming into high school that it was finally happening. So I got to be there as it was going on, and that was so cool. The coolest experience I've ever had in my life. And it definitely was one of the most influential things that helped me to get to where I am today with music.
Wow. And it's amazing
That's
how,
awesome.
those very early experiences, similar to like we talked about at the Railhouse, with the Railhouse, but those real early experiences can kind of push you forward. And continue, you can continue to kind of look back and say, oh yeah, this was the moment, or this was a moment. And you can continue to be inspired by that. Now, what do you think your future holds? Like, because I've heard like Centennials are still kicking. Like, you guys are still working on new material. So is this now? Are you now formally starting a sort of dual, like, solo act and
kind of
Centennials?
Yeah. I definitely would love to be able to take my solo things to, I guess, higher heights than Centennials really is aiming for, but I definitely don't see myself leaving Centennials or being apart from it anytime soon, especially because it's something that's near and dear to my heart, and we have so much fun when we play. We are working on a new album right now, so that's kind of why we're laying low for a little bit.
EP or full length?
Another full length.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes.
So yeah.
Oh no, I will take. Trust me, I will take as much new original music from you guys, you guys, and you too, Lance. Like, as much as I can get. Like,
when I found out you were making something, I was like, I'm excited.
Right? Yeah, and that speaks to kind of everything we've talked about so far, is just that like mutual respect, that mutual admiration. That's so great. I'm really excited. So a Rhonette Smith solo album, and in the future a Centennials full-length record as well. Well, thank you guys both for joining us on the couch. We're going to kick it over to Chris Dubrow real quick for some more words from our sponsor, and then we're going to get to some music.
All right. One More with Brian Erickson is broadcast to you live from Mammoth Music in Red Bank. Established in 1987, Mammoth Music is located in the center of historic Red Bank, New Jersey, voted third best town in the United States by Smithsonian Magazine. They're located within walking distance of the famed Count Basie Theater, Red Bank train station, and many fine eateries, including Mr. Pizza Slice. Hey! Mammoth Music continues the tradition of being a destination store for all levels of musicians, both beginner and professional. New owner, Mario Di Bartoli, a lifelong musician, offers a wide selection of brand name instruments at everyday low prices, both new and used, with personal, professional, and expert service only a family-owned and operated store can provide. Hey, Brian, does the neck on your guitar or banjo need repairing? That was a yes. Do the valves on your saxophone need to be refitted, Brian? Yes, they do. Regardless of what day it is, bring your instrument to Mammoth Music for quality repairs. You'll enjoy prompt service from a team of repairmen who are always available. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Lance Greene.
Just because things may lead you to believe, just because I choose not to test, does it make you any less guilty than I am? Does it make you any less guilty? Who's steering? 'Cause we keep driving in circles. I know we talked before, but we only spoke in riddles. And as the bombs go off on the cross bridge, we dress in coats and make for the doors. Keep the miracles in our eyelids, riddles and metaphors. And I know we should take what we can get. Yeah, I know we should take what we can get. I know we should take what we can get. Yeah, I know we should take what we can get. But does it make you any less guilty than I am? Does it make you any less guilty? Who's steering? 'Cause we keep driving in circles. I know we talked before, but we only spoke in riddles. Who's steering? 'Cause we keep driving in circles. I know we talked before, but it was only smoke and mirrors. Oh. keep driving in circles. And I know we talked before, but we only spoke in riddles. Who's steering? 'Cause we keep driving in circles. And I know we talked before, but it was only smoke and mirrors. Who's steering? Ooh, steering. Oh, and who's steering? Who's steering? I'm gonna do a new one. This one's called Witch Wolf. Whichever wolf you feed, my love. Whichever wolf you feed, my love. Whichever wolf you feed, my love. Which one do you need? Seen a few bumps in the road, like a hubcap killer. Chimney flew out the window. Siller, and oh, said I don't know. Oh, how can you know? How can you be sure? Whichever wolf you feed, my love. Whichever wolf you feed, my love. Whichever wolf you feed, my love. Yeah, you plant the seed. Why is it so hard to admit you don't know? Why is it so easy to doubt someone? And oh, I don't know. Oh, it might have something to do with alternative facts. Oh, whichever wolf you feed, my love. Whichever wolf you feed, my love. Whichever wolf you feed, my love. Yeah, you plant the seed. You sow what you reap. Oh, you sow what you reap, and you reap what you sow.
That was heartbreakingly beautiful. Thank you, Lance.
That was great.
All right, this week on the upcoming events. Tuesday, tomorrow, we have the acoustic New Hope Throwdown in New Hope, Pennsylvania. It's happening at John and Peters. Features performances by tonight's guest, Rhonette. Hey, Rhonette. Along with Catch Me If You Can, Sir Sherry, The Slims, R.J. Nobles, Andrew Ludwig. I love Andrew. Yeah. And Corey and Kara. Music starts at 8. Who's hosting that, Brian?
That's me.
Brian's hosting that. Tomorrow also, Brittany on Fire is hosting the Sessions open mic at Tumulties. They got their heater fixed in New Brunswick. Sign-ups begin at 7:30, so get there early. And Chris, was that Buono?
Yeah, Chris Bono and Oz Noy are at Clancy's Tavern in Neptune at 9 p.m.
On Wednesday, the 17th, the Accidentals are playing the Wonder Bar at 7 p.m. with special guest Renee Maskin of Low Light.
Yes, we love Low Light.
Thursday, 1/18, Avery and the Mandevils, one of my bands. We're playing the Asbury Park Brewery with Mike Frazier, Gin War, and Oil. Oil is so good. That begins at 7 p.m. Zucci and Galactus hit Bar K City Cafe in New Brunswick at 8:30. On Friday, the 19th.
One of your other bands.
One of my other bands. Which
the Burns.
Oh, one of my
the Asbury Hotel.
Yes, my band, the Burns, at the Asbury Hotel.
We talked all about them.
They were at the end. I was getting to them.
Oh, they were on.
Professional, tightly run ship. All right, Friday the 19th, Mint 400 Records is hosting free indie rock night at Stosh's in Fair Lawn, featuring Fairmont, Rock and Roll High Fives, Overlake, and more. Yawn Mower, Chemtrails, Gray Goes Black, and Revive are playing at the Saint at 7:30. I've never been there.
No, I hear the room's got really good tone.
Really great tone. Toy Cars are hosting their release show at House of Independence, also featuring Well Wisher, Dreamcatcher, and Late Waves. Toy Cars' new album is so good, you guys. Where Ghosts Now join Riley Shiro and My Cruel Summer at Asbury Park Yacht Club at 9 p.m. Yacht Club, the only club where you don't need a yacht. And of course, Dave Mooney and the Aztec Gypsies are playing Connolly's in Manhattan at 8 p.m. Who normally plays bass for Dave Mooney?
You do.
I do. Who's playing bass for that show?
I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 tall men, 1 bass. Saturday, the 20th, the Idea Men, Gay Guy, Straight Guy, Lions, My Band The Burns, and Alpha Rabbit play the first New Hope takeover of 2018 at John and Peters. Doors at 7:30. Who's hosting that, Brian?
I am.
Last week's guest, Tara Dente, is playing the Saint with Avery Mandeville, Hey Anna, Mac, Fiona Silver, and God, I'm going to try my best,
Alexa Mazurkowitz.
Alexa Mazurkowitz. I love you, Alexa. You have the hardest last name in the business. They're playing the Saint at 6 p.m. Inroads for Opportunity is hosting their Play It Forward benefit at Pino's at Highland Park at 7 p.m. Last week guest Brian Rothbach is hosting his album release show at the Harp and Bard in Clifton along with Low Light, Hidden Cabins, and T-Gun. And Experiment 34 at the Mill Hill in Trenton at 9 p.m. And on Sunday, the 21st, Powerlines are at the Scarlet Pub in New Brunswick at 8 p.m. I'm exhausted. Brian, there's one more thing.
Yes. I wanted to just mention, it's not this week, it's next week, Friday, January 26th. The Brighton Bar is hosting a benefit for a young woman named Liliana who, due to cancer in her spine, has been confined to a wheelchair since she was a small child. But as different advancements in technology and medicine continue to be made, there's now a very real chance for her to walk again. This event seeks to raise money for that cause, and 100% of the proceeds will go to Liliana and her family. The event starts at 6 p.m. I will be there performing alongside a number of great bands. We'll announce those next week, so come down to the Brighton Bar Friday, January 26th. Let's all help out a great cause.
And now,
Rhonette Smith.
You're gonna hit me when I'm down. You're gonna turn my world inside out. You're gonna hit me like I've never been before. A disaster's coming. Hit the floor, give 'em hell, raise some war, burn those bridges down. A disaster's coming. You said I couldn't handle the truth. It was another of the lies you spewed. How can I ever find my faith when everything is so hard to believe? Hit the floor, give 'em hell, raise some war, burn those bridges down. A disaster's coming. A
Yeah. So that song is gonna be on my new record, and so is this one. And it's definitely my favorite.
This empty pit sits in the center of my chest. I hope by now I would have been somewhere else. A vagabond I am, on the search for a plan, toasting to better days ahead. But today has been so hard. I have been fighting with myself all along, and I know I need to stand up on my feet and be strong. What does it mean to be strong? Again I sit, swinging in the still air, while everything around me still goes. I place myself in the middle of a spiral, and I'm spinning faster than I ever wanted to. Because today has been so hard. I have been fighting with myself all along, and I know I need to stand up on my feet and be strong. What does it mean to be strong? Let's have a toast. Let's have a toast to better days ahead. Let's have a toast. Let's have a toast to better days ahead. Let's have a toast. Let's have a toast to better days ahead. Because today has been so hard. I have been fighting with myself all along, and I know I need to stand up on my feet and be strong. What does it mean to be
Thank you so much, Rhonette. That was fantastic.
Well
Rhonette
done.
Smith, Lance Greene. Rhonette Smith, Lance Greene, Chris Dubrow from Monmouth Music. Everyone here at OneMore. I have been, and I remain Brian Erickson. Have a good night.